Hey everybody, thank you for joining me today. So today we're going to be using this Mojo Monday sketch. And before we get started, make sure you guys subscribe to my channel and hit the little bell next door so that way you can get alerts whenever I upload new videos. And let's hit the craft table. Okay, so I'm back to this pad. If you've been with my channel for a period of time, you'll know that I have a thing for pinks, and I definitely have a thing for this paper pad because this is the second time I've gotten it. And I actually have a whole nother full pad that I have in my stash. So right now, I know we're getting ready to go into March, but this is what I'm feeling, and so this is what we're going to go with, okay? So instead of doing a matte, because I like the white border, I decided that I would leave the card base as my matte. I'm just touching my edges because if you've never used Kaisercraft paper before, it's thinner, and when you cut with your cutter, sometimes it creates little fuzz balls, and so you gotta kind of like sand your edges to get those to go away. And I know it's not my cutter because I can cut other papers like my Nina Solar White and stuff like that, and it's perfectly fine. Um, but it's really bad when I cut the Kaisercraft paper. So once I do that, I'm going to go ahead and attach my polka dot paper. And then I decided to use the peel offs in white from Love from Lizzie. And these are, I believe, not the pinstripes, because the pinstripe ones have all the different sizes. These are all the same size. And it's almost a quarter of an inch. This is a really nice size strip. I really enjoyed using it. And it's my first time on these cards using the white. And I enjoyed it. So we're going to put that to the side. And I always like to tuck my peel offs underneath my paper. So if I was adding this to a mat, I would do the same thing. And since the card front is going to be the matte, that's what I'm doing. And I'm adding wet glue to give me just a few seconds. When I put it down, if it's not in the right spot, I can kind of move it around and or peel it off and not ruin the project. So now that that's down, I'm going to take my 3-inch circle, which I wound up using. I have a handheld punch that I got with my Christmas money and treated myself to a new punch. And then in the paper collection, they have some sentiments, they have square and some fun shapes, but I like the circle because I figured it was about the same size as what's in the sketch. And I was going to use the new Kitsch Flamingo ink. I used it on my first card, but it's a little bit too much of a vibrant pink. This is more like a peachy pink with this particular collection. So on this one, I opted not to use the Kitsch Flamingo. But you'll see when I bring the other one in. So I'm just taking the backing off of the little pop dots or foam squares that I'm using. And technically that right there, the card is done, right? Well, I kind of like using Nuvo drops. I think they're a great way to kind of finish off, especially on your cards. I was going to use this vintage pink, but it's a darker pink. So not to have clashing pinks, I just decided to use the white Nuvo. And I'm going to lay them down here real quick and then tap it off so that they flatten. And then there was a little bit of an air bubble, so I just wanted to fill it in, and I wound up tapping it again. And believe it or not, it worked. So here we are. I'm going to move this to the side because I want to make sure you guys can see the two. This is the one I did off camera, and it's kind of hard to see, but the hot pink yeah, it's a little bit, it's too vibrant of a pink for this particular one. And then there you have it. And you can use just what was I gonna say, the strips, or the pinstripe strips. Make your strips a little bit smaller. You can use silver, gold, you know, whatever you like. I just really wanted the white. I figured it would help it to kind of, I don't know, pop on the paper. And then I'm trying to fill in that hole at the bottom. I wind up not doing too bad of a job, but yeah, there's a little bit of a divot in it no matter what. I'll just try to like fill it in and kind of smooth it out. You just have to try and be careful. Unfortunately, sometimes air bubbles do happen with Nuvo drops. But if you can, just have a scrap piece of paper and try and do like a couple of test ones before taking it to the project. That's my only suggestion. Most of the time, I don't do that. I just go right to the project and I'll be like, oh yeah. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and share button. Like I said at the beginning, I would greatly appreciate it. And I'll see you guys with our next video.